Hey guys, and welcome back to Everything DIY. Today we're going to be showing you how to replace the stock air intake in your Mazdaspeed 3. And we're going to be putting this new James Barone racing intake in it. And this video is going to serve two purposes. First, we're going to be showing you how to replace the air intake, obviously, and the turbo inlet pipe. So if you're interested in seeing how we do this, stay tuned. The tools that we're going to be using for this project include some wrenches, ratchets, sockets, screwdriver, pliers, of course the new intake. We have specific tool details listed down below in the description. We're going to start by removing the bypass valve, and I'm going to be loosening the clamp on this hose first. Next, I'm going to be loosening this one. And then finally, these two bolts here. Next, I'm going to remove the mount that holds the airbox by taking out these two bolts. So you can see. Next, I'm going to remove the breather hose to the airbox. Now it's time to remove the airbox. I already unclipped this little bit here because it's kind of hard to get a camera angle on it. Next, I'm going to unplug the MAF sensor and loosen right here. Okay, and I'm going to lift up and out. Next, I'm going to remove the air intake hose by loosening this clamp here. For those of you just installing the air intake, that's all you need to remove. And stay tuned for later in the video and we'll show you when you need to start reinstall. Now it's time to remove the battery and battery box. Start by taking off the top. Next, we're going to remove the front cover and the two clips in here holding this wire. Now I'm removing the battery holder. Now we're going to remove the battery terminals, negative first. Now I'm going to remove the ECU wire cover. Next, I'm going to unplug the ECU. These little clips here. Next, I'm going to remove the battery box out of the car. Next, I'm going to remove the mount that holds down the ECU wiring harness. Unbolt. Next, I'm going to remove the bypass valve hose, loosening this clamp. Next, I'm going to remove the bolt that holds the inlet. Next, I'm going to push in this clip that holds the wire. Here we are removing the vacuum line that goes from the inlet to the boost control solenoid, as I'm pointing out in this clip. You'll need to loosen the small clip that I'm showing, then pull up so it's no longer clamping on the barb. Once that's done, you'll need to grab a flathead screwdriver or something similar and push or pull the rubber hose from the control solenoid. Be very gentle here, as this plastic piece has been known to crack. Next, I'm going to loosen the final clamp to remove the inlet. Now this is a really tight fit, but it does fit back there. For those of you that are curious, this is what our turbo looks like. Now it's time to install the new inlet. Make sure the clamp is in this position because honestly it just makes it so much easier for the tightening process we found. Next I'm going to tighten the clamp around the turbo, and remember how I said to have that one part sticking out? It's so I can get this into position so I can tighten it. Next I'm going to replace that vacuum hose that we took off earlier. Just like that. Now I'm going to replace the bypass hose. Now I'm going to clamp it back down. Let's remount the wiring harness. Now you're going to slide the battery box into position. Or maneuver rather than slide. Now let's plug back in the ECU. Now we're going to put the battery back in. Next, replace the battery terminals, positive first. Next, replace the front cover. Now replace the battery holder. For those of you that are just installing the air intake, this is where you'll rejoin us for the install. Now I'm going to take the breather attachment off the stock intake and put it on the new hose. Now we're going to install the intake onto the turbo inlet. Now we're going to reinstall the breather hose, and then we're going to make sure we tighten this down. Now we're going to tighten down the intake clamp on the inlet. Now I'm going to replace the bypass valve. Sorry we didn't film it, but we put the MAF sensor from the old airbox onto the new MAF housing. Should be pretty self-explanatory. Now we're going to slide the MAF housing into the intake hose. Make sure the straightener is pointing outward on this side. I'm going to tighten this down now. Slide the air filter onto the MAF housing. Tighten it down. Okay, I'm going to plug back in the MAF sensor. Lastly, I'm going to replace the covers right there. Alright guys, we hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them below in the comment section. If you want to see more from us, subscribe, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye!